Hello, my loves. I wanted to do another Britney ranking, and I wanted to do Glory next. I don't know why. I've been feeling glorious lately. I've just been feeling glorious. So I'm going to be ranking all 20 songs. There are like 20 songs, including all the bonus tracks. So this is going to be a long one, so grab some snacks. But I'm going to be ranking the songs from my least personal favorites to my personal favorites. And excuse me if I'm like maybe rushing through some of them, but there's 20 songs here. I don't want to be here all day. Starting out at number 20, I have Couperet Electrique. I am so sorry. I am Girls Aloud. I can't speak French. Like, I can absolutely not pronounce the title of the song. So, y'all gotta forgive me for that one. I am not French. I cannot speak that. But this song is only last because I've always kind of considered it to be like an interlude, and it's like shorter and it's more of like a atmospheric kind of track, and I do love it, don't get me wrong. Like, yeah, it's at last place, but that doesn't mean anything really. Like, I love literally every single song here, but this one I just simply listen to the least, I guess. And I do think that it's like a really cool concept though. Like, I love how she's singing in French. I love how the title is Blackout in French. That is just like really cool. And I know that it's supposed to be her comparing like not being with her man to like a power outage or something, but the way that like I always like tinfoil hat conspiracy theory thought about it was the song's title is Blackout, and I see the song as her saying Blackout was the light in the darkness of her life. Like, she used Blackout, the album, as an escape from all the turmoil of her life. And that is why she's like saying, I forget the world when you make love to me. Like, I think that's what the lyrics mean in English, but like that to me is like, yeah, on the surface it's about a relationship and her being with her man, but in like a deeper meaning, like I just always see it as her saying Blackout was this escape for me. Blackout was how I did forget about the world. And I don't know, I just think that adds like such a cool layer to the song. Like, the song, like I said, is just really cool. Like, I just feel like it's this mysterious deep cut where, is she alluding to her personal life? Is she trying to say something? Or is it just a cute little reference and the song really is just about what it seems to be about? Like, who knows? And that's kind of a cool part about Britney. I feel like there's a lot of mystique around her life and like her like image. I just feel like there's so much lore to Britney that reading into songs like this, you kind of can't help it, especially when you've been like a fan for a long time. You just like read way too deep into everything, and that's kind of me. Like, I'm guilty of that, but I can't help it. Like, she's just a very fascinating figure, and songs like this are really why. Like, when you're deep into Britney, it just is so fascinating to discover songs like this where, yeah, there might be like some deeper intention behind it. So yeah, even though it's at last place, I know I haven't talked a lot about like the song itself. The song itself is great, but like, even though it's at last place, I still love it. But this is definitely one of the most like fascinating songs, like not just on Glory, like just in general. I think that this is a very cool song. I've said cool like 5,000 times, I'm sorry. Number 19 is What You Need. This one is so much fun. Like, this is just like a cute little burst of adrenaline. I feel like it's a fun little energy shot. She sounds so adorable in it. She really brings out like the high pitch, like super nasally baby voice. And I know she does that in like pretty much most of her discography, but I feel like on this one especially, she sounds like squeaky. I don't know if that's just me, but she sounds like really, really high pitched on this one. But I just think that this one is fun. Like, this is just a really fun, like, bad bitch anthem. Like, this is just such a bad bitch anthem. Like, she is feeling herself. Like, she has got what you want. She has got what you need. I just love it. And I also love the pre-chorus where she's like, give you what you want, I'm a certified special. That part is so catchy. Like, that is just such a catchy part. What You Need, this is just a really, really fun song. Like, I have nothing else to say. It's just a good time listening to it. Number 18 is Just Like Me. Just Like Me is a cool, like, chill moment. I do love the concept of it where she's basically saying, you know, you're out with this girl who looks just like me. And that's, like, a cool concept, but I'm not gonna lie. Her unreleased song, She'll Never Be Me, that has kind of, like, the same concept, and that's, like, a top 25 Britney song for me. So I can't help but compare them, and like, I'm sorry, She'll Never Be Me just like clears this one in my mind, and Just Like Me is like good, but it will never be She'll Never Be Me, like in my mind, I'm sorry. And I hate to hold that against it, pun intended, but like, I hate to hold that against it because like a song should stand on its own, but I just genuinely cannot help but think when I'm listening to the song that I'd rather be listening to She'll Never Be Me. But they are different vibes though. Like, Just Like Me, like I said, was a more chill moment. It's like acoustic-y, kind of guitar driven. And again, that kind of shows like how Glory was her most experimental record, because you don't really get like many acoustic Britney tracks. I feel like she had some early on, but she kind of went more electronic and like dancey like later in her career. And this one is kind of a return. Like, this is a back to basics moment. And I love that. Like, I just think that Glory sonically is so all over the place, but in a good way. Like, it feels like a madhouse. And so to have a song like this, where in theory it shouldn't fit in, the fact that it is so different from basically a lot of her music is what makes it fit in, ironically. So that is why I think Just Like Me is another really cool track. I need to stop saying cool, I'm sorry. I feel like Britney says cool a lot, so that's why I'm saying cool whenever I talk about her. But Just Like Me is really cool, what can I say? Number 17 is Matches with the Backstreet Boys. This was on the reissue, and I don't know if they made this like during the Glory sessions. I don't know if this was originally meant for the album and then they re-released it. I'm assuming that's probably what happened. But this is such a, I'm sorry, cool moment. Like, this is just such an awesome like duo, because this is Britney and the Backstreet Boys, who are literally the late 90s, early 2000s. I mean, listen, like, Britney's star is way brighter than just the late 90s and early 2000s, I get it, but when you think of that era of music, I mean, it's these two, it's them, it's NSYNC, it's Christina, it's all of them. But to have this matchup, I just feel is so powerful. Like, that is just so cool. Like, it should have taken way less time to get Britney and Backstreet Boys on a track together, but I love Matches so much. I think that it does marry their two sounds pretty well, and I think it still fits in with Glory because it is kind of more, I don't want to say experimental, but it's kind of like sparsely produced. It has like a really funny like beat drop for the chorus. Not funny, I don't know what to say about it. Like, it just sounds very like wild, and I feel like it fits in very well with Glory. Like, she literally just goes like playing with matches. Like, it's so much fun, it's danceable, and it's strange. Like, I think that the greatest Britney songs are quite often very strange, and Matches is definitely not exactly what you would expect from a Backstreet Boys Britney matchup, but it works so well. And I think the Backstreet Boys sound very hot in it. Like, I don't know who, like, I don't listen to the Backstreet Boys, so I can't really like tell who is singing, but whoever's voice is in the beginning, like the one who's going, I taste you in the air, like, that part gets me wet. Like, he just sounds like so sexy, and I don't know who it is, but like, it's so sexy. I don't know. This song is just a very like fiery track, very fitting because it's about matches, but this song is just awesome. I really love it. Number 16 is Private Show, a hoe anthem. I love this song. I want to give a man a lap dance to this song. I want to get on the pole and be a stripper. I want to live the stripper fantasy to this song. Private Show is literally so much fun. I love how it's very like, I don't know if it's gonna make sense. It sounds like very clicky. Like, I don't know, there's like little clicks going on in the production, and like the whole thing sounds like a circus, like more than her album Circus. Like, I always said this, but like Glory sounds more like Circus. Like, it should have the title Circus more so than the actual album Circus, because this album to me is just like very frantic and like chaotic and all over the place and like silly. And Private Show to me, it's like sexy but silly, especially with those little like do's in the background. Like, this is just like a really like fun, playful sex bop, and I just think that it's so adorable. Like, it's more adorable than it is sexy to me. That is what's so funny about it. Like, I just think the song is like cute, and even though it's about like something dirty, like, I don't know, I just think that she just comes across so like playful and like sex kitteny in it that I just can't help but like smile when I hear it. Like, it is just literally weirdly innocent sounding for a song about putting on a private show, and that is just what makes it such a great song. Number 15 is Invitation. This song is gorgeous. This song is so beautiful. She sounds so gorgeous on this track. Like, her vocals in this one are just so, like, comforting and, like, beautiful, but still, like, hushed and sexy. And I think that makes it, like, such a great, like, atmospheric track. Like, this is a very, like, setting the tone kind of song. And that makes sense because it is the first track and it is literally called Invitation. And I love that. Like, I love a good concept for an opening track. Like, she literally is inviting you into the world of Glory. And it does have, like, everything that kind of makes Glory what it is. Like, it does have that really rich, like, production and that atmospheric kind of sound. And I love in the second verse where she's like, I'm gonna put you in this blindfold. Like, it has, like, that sexiness and the more, like, freaky side of Britney. I just think that this is such a great opening track. I feel like it does its job so well, and it's definitely, well, I was gonna say it's one of Britney's best opening tracks. I'm not gonna make that claim. I am not gonna make that claim. I have to review that. I have to, like, meet with the committee to talk about that. I'm not sure if it's one of her best, but it's definitely a really good one. Number 14 is Clumsy. Clumsy is, again, just a really fun track. I just think that it's so catchy. There's so much energy to it. There's such a bounce. It's so kinetic, and it's just a really fun one to bop along to. Like, tripping all over this bedroom again and again. Like, it is just impossible to not sing along with this one. I just think that it's so fun. And I also love the oops reference. We love it when Britney acknowledges her older songs. Like, I love it anyways. I feel like she's, like, so humble, and she, like, never really, like, talks about how she is the queen of pop, but when she references, like, her older stuff, like, it just makes me feel warm inside. And I love when she goes, like, oops in this song. It's so much fun. And Clumsy is just a great song. Like, I love how it's produced. Like, it's very, like, I don't know if this is gonna make any sense, but it kind of reminds me of, like, Hambone or something. Is that what that game is where it's like you're playing with, like, your hand and, like, you're fiddling around? Like, that's what it reminds me of. It sounds like somebody, like, slapping their hands around on, like, their knee or something. That's just kind of what the sound gives me. And again, that just goes to show you how Glory is, like, crazy. Like, she just does not have tracks like this. And I love how it merges that, like, sort of more stripped down sound with the more bombastic, electronically produced chorus. I just think that it's cool because, like, it merges Britney's, like, regular sound with a more experimental kind of vibe. And I just think that makes the song really, really fun. It's a very interesting track. Every track on Glory, I just think is so, like, fascinating musically. Like, I'm not the music scholar or anything. Like, I can't, like, study, like, or do, like, master theses on, like, specific songs or whatever. But I think that Glory as an album, like, should be studied. I feel like somebody smarter than me needs to, like, look into each individual song and, like, the different elements that make them, like, so unique. And this one is definitely one that sticks out, not just on Glory, but, like, in her whole catalog. Number 13 is Hard to Forget Ya. The song, like, gets me so lit. Like, I just feel like it builds so well. Like, I love a good song that builds to a satisfying conclusion. And I feel like this one, the verses are so catchy and, like, very sing-songy. Like, I love the melody of the verses. And then the pre-chorus, like, we know I love a good pre-chorus, and I love this one where she's like, since I tasted you, I got a craving, shaking in the heat of the night. I just think that part is, like, so good at building the anticipation, and then it gets to, like, the hard to forget ya, and then just something about ya, and it just, like, explodes. Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. I need to listen to it. I actually need to listen to it right now. One second. Okay, I just listened to it. Whenever I do Britney rankings, I swear to God, like, I just get way too into whatever song I'm talking about, and I need to listen to it. But Hard to Forget Ya, I mean, this one just really brings me back to when Glory first came out, because this was one of the initial favorites. Like, you know when you have, like, initial favorites, and, like, over time, they might get overtaken by other songs? That's what happened with this one. Like, this one I played out. Like, this was one of the first ones that, like, I truly, like, fell madly, deeply in love with. And don't get me wrong, I still, like, love it, but definitely the other songs have grown on me a bit more. And, like, if you had asked me when Glory first came out, this would have been in my top 5. And now it's a little bit lower, but I still just, like, really, really love it. And listening to it, it really does bring me back to when Glory first came out, and I remember whenever I would drive to school, like I was always blasting this one and some of the songs that are coming up, but I just love Hard to Forget. Yeah, it is hard to forget this one. Number 12 is Better. I love this song because it's a very like intimate love track. I feel like this is just a very detailed song about how much she loves how her man makes love to her. Like she's telling a story, she is painting a picture. Let's undo all the distance from your guards down to your buttons and get lost in your existence. Lyrics like that in the song I just think are so pretty, and the song is just like so well written, and I just think that it sounds very nice. Like it's just an atmospheric kind of song, and it's one that I could put on to like chill out to, or one that I could put on to dance to. Like it's very versatile. There are multiple uses for Better, and I love that about it. Oh, and I also love the lyric, show me what's under your t-shirt and bear it like it's your first time. You take it off like you've never been hurt. That is like such a like sad line, because I feel like, again, it's kind of like alluding to her personal life. Like obviously she's been done wrong by men, and that is probably, I'd imagine, like made her feel some sort of connection issues with other people. So I just feel like that line is very meaningful coming from Britney, and it kind of like brings a tear to my eye because it just like makes me think about like her life and like everything she's gone through. But I need to stop being like sad. I need to stop like psychoanalyzing Britney's life right now. Better is such a great song. Every single time that I say something is better in my head, like I always do sing it's so much better. Like I literally, I'm not even kidding you, like if I am like, I don't know, like smelling candles or something, and like I like one better than the other, I'm just like, it's so much better in my head, and like I don't even realize, like that's like the funny thing, like that is how much Britney has just like infiltrated my mind. Like I don't even think about it when I do that. Like it's so subconscious at this point that like if anyone ever says better, I sing that line, and it's just like a part of my life now. Like I just have to deal with it, unfortunately, I guess. I don't know, but yeah, Better, this is such an amazing song. I love it. Number 11 is Change Your Mind. A-Bop. This song is so much fun. I love like the little Spanish guitar influence that the song has, and like her little Spanish spoken word bridge. It's so good, and I love the concept of it. Like I love how she's saying like, I know you're trying to be polite, but don't. Like, she is saying, slam me against the wall, daddy. Like, I love it. She does not want this man to be acting all polite. She just wants to get right down to it. Like, Britney is horny. Like, if there is one thing about Britney, like, she will always serve you a horny bop. And Change Your Mind, it's like the Latin flavored horny bop. I love it so much. Number 10 is Do You Want to Come Over? Speaking of horny bops, this song, again, it's just fun. Like, I keep saying fun, I'm sorry, but like, I really can't think of any other word to like describe this album. It literally is just like enjoyment. Like, this album is just like so lively. And this one is like a very lively song. Like you have like the people screaming in the background, like whenever you want, whenever you need. It's so like funny. And then I just think that she gives such a, again, like sex kitten-y performance. Like, say you feel alone, that your day was the baddest, telling me you can't sleep because of your mattress. Like, she is just so like trying to get this man to come over. It's so like cute. Like, there's just such a playful energy to Do You Want to Come Over? And it just goes off. Like, the song really does go off, especially when the chorus hits. It's just that huge, like, explosive chorus, and she sounds like she's just having the time of her life on it. Do You Want to Come Over is just joy incarnate. Like, this is such a fun song. I don't know if she's done this one live. I forget. I don't remember if she did this during, like, her Vegas residency, but if she didn't, she should have, because I feel like this would be a really, really fun song to see live. Number 9 is Slumber Party. We got those candles. I actually have a candle burning right now, so it's fitting. I love Slumber Party. This is such a chill bop. This is a great one to throw on, like, if you want to get lightly dancey. Like, you could dance to Slumber Party, but it's really one that you throw on when you're hanging out with your friends or something. That is the kind of vibe that it gives me. I actually prefer the solo Britney version instead of the one with Tinashe. And don't get me wrong, like, I love Tinashe, and I like that version as well, but I don't know, I don't think she necessarily needed to be on this track, if that makes sense. Like, I don't think she adds that much that Britney already didn't, and I'm not trying to, like, shade Tinashe or, like, say that that version is bad. It's just, I don't know, I still listen to the original, like, solo Britney version, but both are good. But Slumber Party I just love because it's so like girly and like cute, but also like kind of dirty too. Like she's kind of like hinting towards like making a sex tape, like we use our bodies to make our own videos. Love that. Like leave it to Britney. But I just love the imagery in the song. Like I think I see confetti from this potion, pillow fights in feathers overdosing, smells like a cologne and candy lotion. I love that. Like, she is painting you a picture. She is bringing you to this slumber party. And, like, a slumber party with Britney, like, I can only imagine. That would be a fun time. But, she is just really bringing you on this journey, on this night. And I love that so much. I think Slumber Party is such an adorable song, and definitely one that's great to chill out to. It's fitting for a slumber party. Like, you could throw this one on when all the girls come over, and this is the song that you pregame to. I don't know why you would pregame at a slumber party. Like, where would you be going? It's a slumber party. I don't know, but this is like the song that like sets off the night. I feel like this is a good like first song to play for a slumber party. Although I don't know what kind of slumber party Britney's talking about in this one. It kind of sounds like an orgy, but whatever. I love that for her. Number 8 is Mood Ring, the fan favorite bonus track. I think this was a Japanese bonus track, right? But then they like re-released it and then said like by demand in parentheses, which was kind of funny. But I love this song. This song is really, really gorgeous. It's very ethereal. I love it. I always say this, but like I love when Britney goes like ethereal-ny. Like that is the kind of lane that I love her the most in. And this song is very that. Like I just picture like her being in space in this song. Like it gives me space vibes, and not even space necessarily, just like being among the clouds. Like that is just what I picture. But it's like nighttime and like the sky is purple and like pink or whatever, and it's like a little bit past sunset. I don't know, like this is just like what I'm getting from this. Like I'm picturing a very like colorful sunset kind of vibe for the song, because I mean she is talking about like a mood ring and those like change colors, so it makes sense. But I just think the song is gorgeous. Like, again, I think it has some very beautiful songwriting. I love the line, "You know how to read the touch of my skin." That just sounds so pretty. And then I love the second verse where she's saying, "I have no secrets because there's a version of me that I don't know how to hide when you're making me glow with your fingers against my thighs." That is so sweet. Like, she's basically saying, like, I can't hide my true self around you because I just feel that comfortable with you. And that is so beautiful. Like, I love that for her. I just think that this song sounds like being in love. And I think that very ethereal production, along with Britney's very, like, airy, like, breathy vocal delivery, just fits it so well. Like, I think it just sells that fantasy of having somebody who you feel that comfortable with. I just so love that. Like, this is just such a beautiful, beautiful song. And luckily we have it now by demand, apparently. I guess everybody demanded it. Number 7 is Love Me Down. This song is like so the opposite. Like, this is just a bop. Like, this is such a energetic dance track. I just feel like the energy in this one is just sustained throughout the entire thing, and it makes it so much fun. Like, this song just gets me dancing, especially the chorus where it's like the la 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 love me, la la love me. I love that so much. And I love the production. Again, it just sounds very like weirdly like spooky in parts. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if anyone else gets that from the song, but like the little like backing vocals that are like going like whoo in the background, like especially during like the bridge, I don't know, like there's something very like clown-like to me. There's something very, again, circus-like to me about this song. And I don't know, it's just like funny. Like, it sounds like a fun house, but like a sexy fun house. That is what Love Me Down gives me. It's like sexy fun house, especially with like the, I don't know what the word is. Like, I don't want to say dubsteppy production, but like, I don't know. It has like that warbly like sound effect during the verses when she's like, "You're saying we don't talk anymore, but I'm thinking we talk too much." Like, I just think that it sounds very, again, like experimental. Like, this is just Britney experimenting with different kinds of sounds and just really getting to play around in different like sonic lanes. And I think she works very well in this one. Like, this song doesn't necessarily sound like many of her others. I don't know. Like, she's experimented with like dubstep before, obviously. So it's not like this is totally out of left field for her. But I do just think that this is a really cool, like, different sounding track from a lot of like mainstream pop stars, I guess. Like, this isn't necessarily the most like accessible track to like the general public. but I feel like Britney fans, like, we get it, like, we know, like, we understand, because we drink from the fountain of youth. Like, we understand that Britney is always trying to do something, like, different and new, and Love Me Down is just, like, so many things, like, put together, and I just think that it works so well. Like, it all just comes together so flawlessly. I just really, really love the song. This is such a strong, deep cut. And speaking of strong deep cuts, number 6 is Just Love Me. Y'all do not understand how, like, actually upset I am that this is not in my top 5. Like, I thought for sure this was going to be in my top 5, but it just was not in the cards for me, unfortunately. I am so sorry. Just Love Me is so good. Like, it belongs in the top 5, but what can I say? I like the other ones better. Just Love Me is, again, gorgeous. This is such a gorgeous atmospheric track, and I keep saying atmospheric, I'm so sorry, but like, I really can't think of another word. Like, this song just builds like a beautiful, like, sensual, steamy, smoky atmosphere. Like, I'm picturing like purple fog. Like, that's what I get when I listen to the song. I don't know why. Like, I see colors sometimes when I listen to music, and this song has always been like purple to me. I don't know why. Like, it just gives me purple. But like, I just imagine like her in a room with her man, and it's like dark, and for some reason there's like purple fog like fogging up the room. I don't know. I am not making any sense right now. I am so sorry, but this is just the visual that I get when I hear this song. Just Love Me is, again, very well written. I love I'm not gonna ask for a sip when I'm thirsty, and you don't have to hold my hand when I'm hurting. Just so well written, and I love just the conceit of the song, her saying just love me. It's so simple, but you really believe it coming from Britney. Like, again, like, I'm just like on therapist mode today, but like, I just feel like she really does crave love, and her saying just love me, like, thinking about her life and how she's just had so many people use her. So for her to say like just love me, I think there's something like underlying that's kind of sad about that, but at the same time there's also like this innocence to it. Like, she just wants to be loved, and I think that is so, like, obviously relatable to everyone. Like, who can't relate to that? So I just think that the song is really beautiful for that reason. Like, it's simple, but it's done so flawlessly. And again, it just sounds so gorgeous. Like, this is such a great late night drive song. Like, this is on my late night drive playlist, and that it's like such a staple for it. Like, if I am out, if I'm driving home, like, this song is going to get played, because like, it just gives you the vibe. Like, this is such a late night vibe. I just think that it is so perfect for that. Yeah, Just Love Me. I just feel like this is one of Britney's best deep cuts. If somebody like made a list of the best Britney deep cuts and this was in the top 10, like, I would agree with that. Like, I would fully see that. I mean, actually, maybe top 10 is like kind of high, maybe like top 25 or something. But yeah, I mean, Just Love Me, this song is absolutely a masterpiece. Number 5 is Man on the Moon. This is like kind of a weird one, but off the strength of the first time I listened to this song alone is why it's still at number 5. I will never, ever forget the first time I heard the song. I was floored. Like, tears were welling up in my eyes. It was a movie moment. I'm telling you, it was a movie moment. And the reason why was because, I mean, we all know, like, Britney Jean in 2013, like, was that the best album? No, like, I will defend Britney Jean, but it's not, like, yeah, a great album. I mean, I personally love it, but I get why people don't. But obviously, her heart was not in that album. Like, I think that that's a fair thing to say. Like, her heart was not there in it, neither were her vocals on a lot of it. But when I heard Man on the Moon, I just remember thinking, like, this is her. Like, this is Britney. Like, her heart and soul is going into this project. And obviously this wasn't the first song that I heard from Glory, because like Make Me had came out and like there were the promo singles and everything. But when I finally got like the whole album and I heard this one, like, this was specifically the moment that I just remember thinking, like, she is back. Like, this is Britney at her artistic peak. And Britney does not get enough credit for being a creative genius. Like, let's call it how it is. Like, she literally is so, like, creative. I just feel like she has a mind that's, like, bursting with ideas. And this song is just filled with so many, like, ideas and like moments. Like, there's just so many specific moments, like from the beginning when it's just like her vocals isolated with like that robotic kind of like feature put on them, or in the chorus when it goes from like darkness comes and I come alive, been dreaming of you. I love how she like goes from alive into I've. It just sounds like so pretty when you hear it. And the like snapping production and like the like bridge where she's speaking in like a made-up language, it is just so like zany and like filled with so many weird moments, but it all just comes together and makes a masterpiece. Like, this song to me is just like a masterpiece, and I feel like no one talks about it, like outside of Britney fans. Like, no one talks about how amazing this song is. This song is just absolutely incredible. I just really, really think it's so underrated. I don't know. I just love a song that's like really wild and experimental and doesn't care that it's going there. Like, this song, you could tell, obviously, had her heart in it. Like I said, she is a creative genius, and she often has, like, stranger ideas. Like, you could tell when Britney has more creative control over a project by, like, how weird they are. Like, Blackout, for, like, as much as we love it, like, that's a strange album. Like, especially for the time. Like, there was a lot of strange things that people weren't doing at the time on that album. And Glory, I think, is similar. Like, I always think of Blackout and Glory as kind of sisters. Not that they sound alike, but I think the spirit of them is similar because they are the ones that are the least afraid to be bold. And Man on the Moon, to me, exemplifies Britney just not caring and doing what she wants to do. And I just think that it is so brilliant. I always pictured the video for this being a remake, like a mini remake of A Trip to the Moon, like the 1902, like first movie ever made, A Trip to the Moon. I think that would be such a serve, like, and Britney in the video would play like a new character, like she would be, I don't know, like one of the astronauts, like wives or something, and like the video would be her like looking as she's watching her man go into the rocket, and then she watches him like launch off, and she's all like depressed because her man is on the moon now. Like, you see, it's literal. Like, I love a literal interpretation. I don't know, like someone needs to like flesh this out for me, like somebody else, some director out there, Joseph Kahn, someone, they just need to do a video for Man on the Moon. It is too good to not have one. Number 4 is Liar. This one was like my favorite. When I first heard this album, this was literally my favorite. I love Liar so much. This is like an all-time favorite Britney song for me. This song is just so much fun. Like, I love how it sounds like a Western saloon. Like, has anyone ever watched like a Western movie and there's like the scene where the guy like rolls into town and he has like the gun in his pocket and he like walks into a saloon and then like there's like a showdown or something? That is just what I picture Liar is, because it has like that harmonica and it sounds like dusty. I don't know, like I'm just picturing like a dusty saloon when I hear this song for some reason. Like, it sounds like an old Western showdown, and she is calling out this man for being a liar, and she is the cowboy who is riding into town, and she catches her man in a saloon with some prostitute or something. Like, that is just what I am picturing for Liar. Liar is so much fun. Liar is literally so much fun. Like, I have way too much fun singing the song, and I'm clearly having too much fun talking about it, but like, it just calls for it because it's so good. It's so catchy. I love the melody of the verses. Like, it just is so easy to sing along with. I love the whole like kamikaze, fire come down, fire come down. It's so much fun, and I just love how big the chorus is. It's so fun to sing along with, so catchy. Liar is just a classic. Like, in my mind, it's a classic. I just really love this song. I've never got like the reading on like what most people like think about this song, but I feel like if you listen to Liar and you don't like it, like, you are a liar. Like, you are the liar. Like, you cannot not like Liar. I'm sorry. I just won't accept that. I refuse to live in a world where somebody doesn't like the song. I'm sorry. I'm just not gonna have that. Number 3 is Swimming in the Stars. This was, like, when I tell you a moment. They released this in, I think it was 2020, and it was on Britney's birthday. I remember that. And I remember exactly where it was. I'm not kidding you. I remember exactly where it was and what I was doing. I was making macadamia nut cookies. Like, don't ask why I remember that. That's, like, kind of random. But, like, I was making macadamia nut cookies. And for the entire time that I was doing that, I was listening to the song. And then, like, as they were baking, I was listening to the song. And then, like, probably as I was eating them, I was listening to the song. And I remember I listened to the song, like, I'm not even kidding, 30 times in one day, because I was just so entranced. Like, I was entranced. And this is, like, become one of my most played Britney songs, like, ever. Like, this is, I don't know, probably in, like, my top, like, 10 most played Britney songs. I'm not even kidding. Or maybe, like, top 20, I don't know. Swimming in the Stars is just everything that I want from Britney. Like, this literally is exactly the type of song that I love from her. Like, I put this up there with, like, the Don't Hang Ups and, like, the That's Where You Take Me's and the Trip to Your Hearts is as like the ethereal journey collection of Britney. That is what the song goes in, because it just has that grand scope to it. It has that ethereal sound. It just sounds beautiful, and I love, again, the imagery of swimming in the stars and like and will glow and shimmer in the diamond lights. It's so pretty, and like in seas of city lights. Like this song was lab made for me. Like I love anything that's like sparkly or like sparkly imagery. I love that. And especially like I love like cityscapes at night. I just think that like the city's skyline at nighttime is so like gorgeous. That's like one of my favorite things about like driving into the city at night. I just think that the look of like the lights against the really dark sky is just so beautiful, and this song just like evokes that imagery, and I love it for that reason. I just think that the song just paints such a beautiful picture, and it helps that it just sounds so wonderfully produced. Like I think it was Matthew Coma that did this, Hilary Duff's husband, and I think he did this, and if that's true, like I could totally see that, because this kind of sounds like a song that could have been on Breathe In, Breathe Out by Hilary Duff. If anyone knows that album, like, I don't know, I feel like that album kind of has like a similar soundscape to this one a little bit. And that would make sense because it was, I don't know, like, it must have been 2015 that, or 2016 that they made this, and Breathe In, Breathe Out was 2015. So I guess it would make sense that, yeah, he was doing sort of a similar song. But this song is just like absolutely gorgeous. This has quickly become one of my most favorite Britney songs like ever, and that's pretty crazy to say because like it is still relatively new. And I think the fact that like we went so long in like a Britney drought, like from 2016 to 2020, like what did we really get from Britney in terms of like new music? I mean, really nothing. So having this show up was such a treat to me, and that's why I played it so much. Like I will just never forget it. Like, I feel like life, like, won't begin again until Britney releases a new song. Mind Your Business not included. I just feel like life won't really take off again until there's a new Britney album. And I've just put my life on pause ever since Swimming in the Stars. Like, frankly, my phone background is still the single artwork for the song, which is like the most stunning picture. Like that is one of my favorite single artworks for Britney. It's one of my favorite like photo shoots that she's ever done. It just, again, was like lab made for me. Like I love like a starry night sky. So like my two favorite things, Britney Spears and stars, like in one picture. I mean, it's gorgeous. And I just love like how it looks. It's just so gorgeous. Actually, I did lie. I only have that picture as my background 11 months out of the year. Since it's October right now, my phone background is a picture of Christina Aguilera with her dog at Halloween, just because like it matches like the vibe. Like I just feel like that has to happen during Halloween because Xtina is the queen of Halloween. But every other month it is always consistently Britney. Like that has stayed as my phone background for 3 years, and it's not changing until the new single comes out. Once again, I'm not counting Mind Your Business. That one could go in the corner. Anyways, number 2 is If I'm Dancing. Another one of her best deep cuts. I will say it. I think that this is genuinely one of Britney's best songs. This song is so friggin' crazy. This song is so zany and off the wall, and this just captures everything that I love about Glory. Glory is a crazy album. It's more of a circus than circus, and If I'm Dancing is like the zaniest moment. Like this is the craziest song, from the stuttering vocals to like her half rapping the verses, and that crazy bridge where she's like, my chakras all been green and red, but he wants blue and green instead. Like, what is she talking about? What is she talking about? I don't know, but it's great. This song is a ride. Like I said about a lot of the other songs, like this really does just feel like an adrenaline booster. Like it just feels like this quick shot of energy that you don't even know like what happens. Like by the time that this song was over for the first time, I was like, what did I just experience? Like it just felt like an out-of-body experience. Like my chakras were all unaligned when I listened to this because I just did not know what to make of it. Like I knew I loved it, but I was also just like, what? Like what just happened? It's like a hit and run. Like the song is like a hit and run. Every time that it ends, I'm just like still floored by like how crazy it is. And I just love it for that reason. Like I just think that, again, it works. Like, every individual element, all, like, the, like, craziness that's happening in the background, all the zany sound effects, all the wildness about this track, it just works. And on top of that, it is just, like, really catchy. Like, it's just a really fun song to sing along with. It took me a long time to, like, learn the lyrics, because I feel like she sings them really fast, so, like, I couldn't catch up on what she was saying. But I probably still couldn't sing along with it, because, like, it just moves so fast. Like, cinematic, take it right back with a bottle of perfume lotion. Like, it just goes really fast, and I just love it. Like, there's just such a kinetic energy to this song that makes it so great. This is genuinely, like, I truly believe one of Britney's best songs, like, period. I really, really do think that, because it just shows you, like, the experimentalness. Like, she does not get enough credit for being a crazier pop star than people think. Like, her tracks are often very, like, stranger than I feel most people give Britney Spears credit for. Like, I feel like they see the image of, like, you know, the Baby One More Time and Oops, I Did It Again singer, and it's like, yeah, that's fine, but at the same time, there is so much more to her that makes her such an interesting artist, and you just need to play If I'm Dancing for people to realize that. It is just such a great song. I love If I'm Dancing. When this album first came out, like, this was my favorite. I know I said Liar was my favorite. This also was my favorite. Like, they were both my favorites. I pretty much listened to them both equally the same amount of times. So, yeah, I just love this song. I drove to school and listened to the song, like, literally every single day. Like, this was my jam. Number 1 is Make Me. I feel like this is controversial. I feel like people don't necessarily love this song. I feel like people don't rank it up there with Britney's best, and I get it, but I don't get it. Make Me is my personal favorite Glory song because, like I was saying about Man on the Moon, I was just so floored when I heard the song, and I just remember thinking, like, Britney is back. Like, I know I said that about Man on the Moon, and, like, I stand by that too, but when I heard Make Me, I was just, like, entranced. I was brought to a different realm. This song is just so, like, it levitates me. It levitates me. It literally makes me float off the ground. I feel myself, like, rising to heaven when I hear this song. This is ethereal Britney once again. She literally sounds like an angel on this track. She sounds heaven sent. Oh my god, like, this song, like, when I tell you, I just can't even, like, really put it into words. I feel like this song is a religious experience for me. Like, I listen to it and I see the face of God, I see Jesus, I see the light. I just really do, like, see something happening. Like, I am going on a spiritual journey when I hear Make Me. It just really is so gorgeous, and just everything that I love about Britney. Like, it's so catchy, it has that huge, grand chorus, and it's just, like, this huge expression of her love. Like, make me ooh, like, what does that mean? I mean, I think we know what that means, but, like, I just love it because that's such a Britney way to put it. Like, that's just such a pop song way of phrasing that, and I just think that it works because it's Britney singing it. Like, frankly, I don't really think anyone else would do the song justice the way that she does. Like, this is such a Britney song at its core, and I think it works so well because she just sounds so committed to it. She sounds so convicted, and that was what I loved so much when I first heard it. And yes, I know I said this same exact thing about Man on the Moon, and I still stand by that, but I just also felt that for Make Me. I also did feel that about this song, because, I mean, think about it, from 2013 to 2015, what did we have from Britney? We had Britney Jean, and we have Pretty Girls, and, like, don't get me wrong, like, I know people, like, crap on those a lot, but, like, I love them. But yeah, like, her heart wasn't necessarily in those. When I heard Make Me, I was like, Britney Spears, the artist, is back. Like, her mind is back. Like, her conviction and her love for music is back. And that really just, like, extends to all of Glory, in my opinion. Like, that's how I feel about this album, and that's why I love it so much. Because you could tell, like, this was her returning to form. And I would say, like, this is her most creative that she's been since Blackout. Like, I'll say it. I mean, I don't think it's as good as Blackout, but I think that they're spiritually sisters because they have the same kind of energy that went into them. Like, you could tell Britney had a lot of mixtures of emotions during this era, and it all just came out in this beautiful, beautiful way. And when I heard Make Me, I was like, I hear her voice in this. Like, I hear her. Like, this was Britney singing. This was not Maya Marie singing. This was Britney. And I just love this song. Like, I'm getting teared up, like, thinking about it because, like, I love it so much. And I don't know, I feel like the song just does not get enough love. I feel like more people should love this song. It's, like, actually is just genuinely such a great pop song. It really is genuinely an amazing song, and it just does not get the credit that it deserves. I love Make Me so much. This is a top 10 Britney song for me. Like, it actually is a top 10 Britney song. I could say that very confidently. I just adored the song so much. But that is my ranking of Glory. If we couldn't tell, I really like this album. I mean, I love literally every Britney album, but Glory, like I said, this really was just like a return to form for Britney. I feel like since Blackout, she hadn't had an album where she necessarily had the same amount of creative control than she did on Glory. Like, I feel like this was the first time since 2007 that she really put all of her creative juices into an album. And that's not to say that she didn't for like Circus or Femme Fatale. I mean, she didn't with Britney Jean, we know that. But like, I'm not trying to like bash the other albums. I'm just saying, I really feel like Britney, the artiste, came back with this album. And that is why it is just such a genuinely great body of work. This is just such an amazing record. And like, every single year that goes by, I just love it even more. It is just so great. Like, it just has not gotten old to me. And I could still listen to it front to back, not skip a damn song, and just love it so much. I just absolutely love the hell out of Glory, and I am just so happy that I got to talk about it for a good 45 minutes. I am so sorry y'all had to hear me ramble for that long, but thank you guys so much for listening, and let me know what your guys' favorites are from this glorious album, and I will see you next time.